I'm an overthinker and I'm a huge self-criticizer. I'm always just torturing myself. Why do we do that? And why can't we stop doing it?
We'll tackle the self-criticism first. I think there's a couple of things that go into that. One, and I want to say this, because I probably won't hit it on everything we talk about today. Very few of these things have a single solitary origin. A lot of them have, I like to think of it as layers. And there's almost always a societal layer, by which I mean there are ways in which our culture creates certain norms or puts out certain messaging or says certain things or teaches us certain things. And the self-criticism is one where I'm convinced that this is the case. How many movies have you seen where it's like it's a sports movie and the team is down at the half and the coach comes in and just starts, yelling at everyone and ripping everyone, and they come out in the second half and do some amazing performance and win the game, or where it's happened on an individual level, right? And that's true. You see that in the military movies where, the drill sergeant comes in and just yells at them, screams at them, and then they get their act together and suddenly turn better. So we've got this message that that's actually an effective motivational tool that has been put out there through culture, even though there's nothing in psychological research to support the idea that criticism does anything to help. It can, in certain cases, create a very short-term bump because of fear, but it's not sustainable and it comes with a tremendous price. Right. So I think that's one of the things that comes for self-criticism. That's one. Now, here's another one. One of the things that ideally happens as we're growing up, if we have healthy enough parents who are appropriately critical when we make mistakes, appropriately complimentary when we do things well, we learn to get an accurate perspective on right and wrong and learn to kind of engage around a more healthy form of self-management. We basically internalize that parent eventually, and it becomes our internal kind of guide or conscience. And there are people out there who, they have that and they don't struggle with this. If we don't get that, maybe we have a parent who's particularly harsh. Maybe we don't have a parent who's involved or engaged at all because they're either neglectful or they're engaged in substance use or caught up in other things in their life. They're just stressed out because they're working 3 jobs. We may not have a parental model. And it seems that if we don't, what we tend to do is we tend to internalize this very rigid black and white one that does things like, basically, if it's not perfect, it's garbage.
I do that.
And so, right. And so there's any number of factors here where we have that happen, where we can really internalize that. And it's supported by this belief that that's how we get ourselves to get better, except it doesn't actually work.
Right.
So I think that's a part. I think there's also some messaging around that the flip of it is just this kind of hippy dippy, just go with the flow. Oh, everything's cool. It's all fine, which is obviously its own form of problematic. And this is where Kristen Neff and her work around self-compassion, I think, is so important, because her take is, well, actually, it's like this. It's basically you got to find a way to allow yourself to be where you are and to accept that, and then look at where appropriate or necessary, how can or do you do better next time? Or another way I might put it, to go Buddhist for a minute, is this is a quote from, I won't pronounce his name quite right, Shunryu Suzuki, who's the guy who founded the San Francisco Zen Center back in the 60s. So he was fond of saying this: you're perfect just as you are. And you could use a little improvement.
I like it. Yeah.
Right. Which is kind of self-compassion in a nutshell. So that's the thing that we've got to find there. So that's that piece.
Yeah.
Now, overthinking is a number of things that can go into that, right? It's one, we have problem-solving brains, and some of us really are comfortable operating in our heads, especially. Your head, I won't say it's a safe place, but at least it's free from outside criticism.
Not mine.
When you're in there,
I've got tons of self-criticism.
I said it's free from outside criticism.
Got it. Yep, I'm tracking. Yeah.
Your internal critic. And that's another, that one's familiar. And that's another reason, by the way, sometimes people develop very self-critical voices. It's as a way to try and toughen themselves up against the external voices they fear.
Yeah.
Because they and it's like nothing. And that's, most self-critics I know, there's nothing anyone can ever say to them that is meaner than what they say to themselves.
Oh yeah, I've said
you
that.
know? Yeah. But the overthinking, it's about a mix of very driven problem solving and being comfortable there, and a lack of confidence in one's ability to find a solution, and or unrealistic expectations about the quality of your solution. If it's got to be perfect, well, you're going to keep working on it until you get it perfect. And as you know, virtually nothing is or can be perfect. And so you're going to just keep spinning in your head forever if you let yourself. Right. So that's one. But a lot of it's also just the, like, if there's this fear or lack of confidence around things, we spin it around in our head until we try and find a perfect thing. And we can get caught up in the idea that that exists when it doesn't.
Right.
And
Go ahead. No,
go ahead.
I'm a huge overthinker. I mean, coming into this chat, I'm just like, oh no, I'm talking to a psychotherapist. Oh no, don't mess this up.
What happens if I don't ask the right questions? Yeah.
He's going to melt my brain. No, I didn't feel that way.
Yeah, good. The thing here with this too is it is really hard for us to give ourselves permission sometimes to be imperfect and to be messy, in part because we live in a world where we don't get to see it in other people nearly enough.